Yeah, sure. My name is Glenn O'Neill. I'm a senior superintendent of police, and I'm the deputy head of the Commercial Crime Bureau here in Hong Kong. If you look at theories of policing, they say the police force, the makeup of the police force should reflect the diversity of the community it polices. So you should have a certain percentage of Chinese. So Hong Kong, you would say, well, in that case, you should have a certain number of Indians, Pakistanis, Filipinos, Indonesians, expatriates. We have a way for people to get into the police force, but they must be permanent residents. They must have a certain level of English and a certain level of Chinese. Now, there has been talk about adjusting these entry requirements to increase diversity, but I do see one issue, possible issue in the future will be the lack of diversity, not only in the police force, but also in the government.
Geography and history. I used to read a lot about foreign countries, other countries, and decided when I was 19 to try to visit some other part of the world other than Scotland, and signed up to join the Colonial Police in Hong Kong. The Chinese probably feel, why should they need expatriate police officers in what is part of China in due course? I mean, China could have turned around and said in 1997, we don't want any expat officers at all. Hong Kong is now part of, but they didn't. China stood back and said, you carry on, but no more recruiting. You have to move with the times. Things do change. Hong Kong is now part of China. There are some subtle differences. There are some changes taking place. Do they frighten me? Do they worry me? No, I'm still here. I don't see those changes. The changes taking place are going to be changes which are going to drive me away, make me form a different opinion about Hong Kong. Not so far, but there are changes.
This is like sort of like we're going to do senior general. You know,
Yeah.
it's
How boring?
very boring. Basically, it's where they usually put somebody who, if you were
I came from a fairly industrial town in the northwest of the UK. There was a lot less industry and a lot less money. Hong Kong was far wealthier. But at the same time, there was a lot of contrast. There was a lot of cutting-edge, state-of-the-art development.
That's me now.
So this is
That was
We had chosen to stay because we were given the option in 1997 to go if we wanted to. I mean, I was part of a group, one of our staff associations, that went to Beijing in 1994, and we had all expected that our career would end on the 1st of July 1997. And we were told in no uncertain terms by some fairly high-ranking politicians, please stay, we're not going to recruit anybody else, but you will all be allowed to work out your careers.
And this is me opening the Cato Electric Company in 1971. We were all foreigners, weren't we? And many of us, Cantonese wasn't very good, although some of us were quite good. And we were sort of, it took a number of years, I suppose, for the average expat to really get to know things and get to know what was going on. As regards to the courts, I don't think there's much difference. The magistrates probably, if anything, there's more acquittals. But I mean, a very broad statement I'm making, but it seems in many cases to be more acquittals now in the magistrates' court than we did in years gone by when the British were here.
But my personal opinion is that it's gone the other way. In fact, the mainland police force has had a greater impact on the way we operate. So what I would say is, my personal view is, I think as an organisation, we've become more conservative and more cautious. So I think I would like to see the police force be more outgoing, and I like to see this, more interaction with the public across different levels. So and more openness, because I think police forces, you must have the trust of your community, your police.